Welcome to Single Stories, a fun, creative, and unfiltered chat with me, Ginger Robbie. I'm the founder of Ginger Robbie Designs and Seaside Drafting and Designs. I'm a designer, architect, entrepreneur, mom, and now an empty nester. After more than 20 years in the interior design and architect world, I've seen it all, from building dream homes and starting 2 businesses to raising my son solo and navigating all the chaos, creativity, and courage it takes to build the life you want on your own terms. This podcast is where we'll dive into the stories behind the spaces, the real life journey of what it means to design a career, a business, and a home, all while chasing your dreams and finding your voice. We'll talk about the industry, the grind, the wins, the mess ups, and everything in between. Whether you're a fellow designer, a business owner, a mom trying to figure it out, or just someone who loves a good story, Single Stories is for you. Let's build something beautiful, one story at a time. Hi, welcome back to another podcast of design and the weird things that happen. Just kidding. So I'm recording these podcasts back to back because normally I do them on the weekends or pretty much weekends. But my schedule this week is just a little crazy because of all the stuff that we have to deal with. And again, it's still summer. I still have another month, so I'm trying to have fun on the weekends. So this is gonna be a super quick talk, but so I wanted to go back to when I first started in this industry, and I started my own little company, and I had, as you know, I had Dorian into the industry, had him in school. He went to college with me. That's probably why he likes going to school now. Went to college with me. Grew up in the industry because I had to take him everywhere. He went to class. I remember we went to a client's house and I gave him a coloring book and coloring crayons and set him next to the door and said, "Stay here, you color. I'll be back for you later." And the lady was so nice. My client was so nice. And I think she moved back to Michigan, honestly. And this is like forever ago. And she's like, "He can come in here and sit down." I was like, "No, he's fine. He's fine." And he actually was. He had like all his little games. He liked being there. She had this big entryway and he was like all sprawled out by the time we came back. But he was very used to going everywhere with me. So when he was a little baby, we would go to the fabric stores all the time. And not like a fabric store that general public thinks. There's industry standard fabric stores. If you've never been in there, you walk in and there's a desk. And then there's like rows that go this way, this way, this way. There's big books of wallpaper. But there's all these rows. So they're double stacked. And there's, I don't have any fabric in here. It's folded fabric, like one after, so imagine like one after the other, and you can find, and they're color coded. So if you love organization and you were OCD about your closet being color coded, you would be in heaven. You should work there if you do, if you love organization. Or if you're just getting into the design field or into the industry, great place to work. My first job, my very first firm I ever worked for was this lady named Amy, and she owned a, I don't remember what it's called. Oh gosh, what was that called? Anyways, she did everything fabric headboards, drapes. She did sheets, bedding. I mean, if it had fabric on it, she was doing it. She did what were those things called? Valances. What are those things called? She did valances. She did everything. And so this is where I learned about fabric. What type of fabric? Double rubs. That means how many times you can rub it till it wears out. If you don't know that and you're going to design school, you need to learn about fabric and why it does that. So I'd learned all these things. It was great. I actually had the opportunity a couple years after to buy the company from her. And I think I didn't buy the company, but I bought her client list, which is a little bit more of how I got deeper into my business. And so anyways, so she had taught me all of this stuff about fabric, right? And she had a client that she was too busy to have, so she let me take him. And I was like, this is great. So we go to her house. I go to her house. I didn't have Dorian with me. And she lived in this big, beautiful house in Ranch Santa Fe, and she had huge 100-foot windows. And she said, I need to cover these. Like, the sun's coming in. It's killing my furniture. She had a big dining table there. And we ended up putting a really big, pretty light in there, too. But it had views. So I said, well, why don't we get some curtains for the extreme sun And but also let's get some shears so you can look through it. Again, this is the beginning of my career. I only did designing in the very beginning of my career. Later, construction and all that came in. Like I could build you a house from the ground up. I can draft it for you. I can put it through the city. That comes with time, right? But in the beginning, this is all I was doing. So again, I would go to these fabric um, vendors, reps, and all the girls knew Dorian. They would hold him when he was a baby. They'd hold him for me so I could look. As he got older, they'd let him come sit on his lap, and they'd give him M&Ms and soda. I think it later turned to water because whenever you go in there, there's snacks because us designers are like, go, 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 go. By the way, you have to get, here's my tip. I learned this from my contractors. They always have a cooler in their truck. I carry a cooler in my car because there's days where I'll be in the office and then I'm like, go to a client, go to a client, go to a showroom, go to a client, go to a job site, blah, 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 blah. Don't get back to my office till like 7 p.m. I carry, and my mom bought me this for Christmas. I love it. It's so cute. It's my leopard lunchbox. It's my little lunchbox, so it's like cute and fashionable. You gotta get one. It keeps everything super cold too. Anyways, so we go to this fabric showroom, and I have to pick out this some type of fabric for this client. And she told me she liked blue, and I was like, blue's great, but that's not really going to transcend over time unless you have like a French country house. And she definitely didn't have that, so I was like, gotta get something different. So I had Dorian. Remember those like little umbrella strollers? He was in this little stroller and he's sitting in there, and I think he's 3. I can't really remember, but he was 3, and he's on the lower level of fabric. I'm not a tall person. If you've never met me, when I have heels on, I'm like 6'3". When I don't, I'm under 6 foot. So I'm looking at this level, right? I'm looking, and we're going. And I used to always let him pick out fabric, and he'd bring the samples home and he would play with them. I mean, he'd find stuff that were like for kids, like the cars. Um, I think he found something one time with like Indians on them. I don't really remember what happened. So, anyways, I'd always have this fabric that I ended up throwing away, right? So we're down there, and I told him, Dorian, we're looking for blue, but not blue. I kind of want it to be silver, and it's got to look like this house. And I showed him a picture, and I said, it's got to be really pretty and very elegant. There's real tall windows. And he says, okay, mom, we're pushing. And I mean, I've got like, what you do is you get like a paper and a pen, and you write down the numbers. Every fabric has a number. So you write down the numbers and turn it in to give you a sample. We're going, we're pushing along, doing my thing. He all of a sudden grabs a fabric and he's like, here, mom. And he throws it up at me. Almost hit me in the head. I was like, what is this? And he's like, I want this one. I'm like, okay. So I would always write Dorian, and then I put the fabric. So when it came out, I knew that's the one he wanted. Well, it came, and the fabric was like as big as my sign. It was big. It's a big sample. Usually the samples are like this big, sometimes this big. So anyway, so I get it. We take everything home. We're getting ready for our presentation. I go to my presentation the next day, and I got all our stuff. It's all laid out in the living room. So I was laying everything out, and this is before I had an office. So because I'm working for somebody else, I'm still going to I was still going to college. So he had to be not even 2. So he was little. Anyways, so we're putting everything together, right? And he comes in, he goes, where's my fabric? And I go, oh, I put your pile over there. Dude, all your stuff. You can go play with it. And he goes, no, where's my fabric for the meeting? What? I'm like, honey, we're not using that fabric for the meeting. He goes, no, that one I gave you. And I'm like, which one? I didn't remember. He brings it over and he sets down. And I go, oh, it's kind of nice. And it was all blue, and I had like the sticks and the little flowers, and it was really actually elegant, and it was really pretty. And I would say it reminds me of cherry blossoms. I can't remember what the fabric was anymore, but it actually went really well with the room. And I had some other things for her and shears and all that stuff. So I put it there. He goes, Mom, you have to promise to show her. And I said, okay. So I'm thinking, I'm going to tell her the story of how we're in the fabric store, and he loved it. And he just wanted me to show her, right? So I put it all out, right? I get there. Her people let me in. They say, oh, you can set up in the dining room. And I'm like, great. So I'm putting all the stuff out, like the handles that we needed for stuff, and metals and shears and the fabrics and the lighting. And, it's all out there, right? So we go through everything, and we get to the part, and I'm like, here's some fabric. Oh, I love this sheer. I like that. That's perfect. We hold it up. It's great. So we're going through the fabric. I'm like, I have this one. She's like, no, I like that. Oh, I like that one. That one. I go, that one? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you sure? So we unfold it and we hold it up and, I bunch it together and we look at it. And I'm like, this one? And she's like, yeah. Oh, I love it. It's perfect. It goes with the room. The colors are great. I thought I wanted blue, but I really don't. I really like that. I'm like, okay. And she's like, it goes so well with the shears and everything and the fur. Oh, it goes so good with the sofa. And I was like thinking, okay, we have fabric that a little toddler literally picked. I couldn't tell her. I couldn't tell her. I'm gonna tell her my son picked this out. Welcome to the kid that's been in the industry since the day he's been in my stomach, and then was born into it. And by the way, my son is not in this industry. He did construction for us for he worked construction for me since he was 13. When he turned 16, he's head of our warehouse and delivery. When he turned 17, he was fully on the site building construction, and he's actually going to school to be fire paramedic. He's currently looking for a job on an EMT truck. So he's in a completely different industry. But I think because of construction, building, and being around me forever, he understands how houses are made, how construction is made, how framing is done. I think it will, like I said, every job you have will help you later on. Anyways, so Dorian picked out this fabric and she bought it and we made it and we put it up. And I don't know where those pictures are because that was back before cell phone pictures, right? So you had to take actual pictures and it's in a box somewhere, probably in the attic. I should probably find those. And they hung up and she loved them. Told all her friends. I remember I had to come over one day to put some handles on one of her cabinets. And I walked in, all her friends were there. She introduced me to her friends and said, oh, she picked this amazing fabric. And in my head, I'm like, nope, I was a 2-year-old. There are like funny things that happen. So it's like looking outside the box. I mean, I had an idea, like, this is how it's going to go. And that's what it's going to do. And that was outside the box. And it worked out well. And because of that, we changed a few things. Later on, I told Amy, she laughed. She thought it was hilarious. She's like, you know what? Sometimes good taste just comes right out of the pores. So apparently it was in his genes. My mom, builds things, designs things. Her style is traditional. So he's lived a lot in this world with us. And I'm sorry, son. So thank God he surfs and has his dad and does fire stuff. So, but yeah, so things can happen. They don't expect. I still think that's my funniest story of that kid being in this industry. There's more, like things falling and paint. Oh my gosh, the paint story. Oh, I can't wait. I have to bring Sandra on to tell you the paint story. We're going to get that scheduled. It's the funniest story. It involves cars, hoses, and paint. It's hilarious. So, anyways, thanks for listening. This was our super quick one because I don't have time this weekend to do another one. But glad you're here. Subscribe. Keep me around. Give me something else to do other than always doing paperwork, even though I love it. I love my business. So, but subscribe, keep watching. Thank you very much. See you guys later.